We've got a lot to get to today. We have our list of the top 10 first basemen, as well as other news from around the MLB. In the NHL, the Lightning get back in the series with a must-win, and the Oilers lose their must-win. The Warriors bounce back in Game 2 of the NBA Finals to even up that series, and then we will be predicting the Carolina Panthers today. Zach is here, and Colin is back as well. Zach, get us going. You got any donuts for this episode?
I do not have any donuts, unfortunately. It's only for National Donut Day. Colin, sorry you missed it.
Out. Yep. We're smacking on
Actually,
donuts.
it was my mom who got them, so I didn't really get them. Yeah, I'm doing good. Me and Kaylee went to the brewery tour yesterday. I got this shirt. Bud King of Beers, which is fact. That was pretty sweet. Highly recommend. I know Colin's been on it.
Yeah.
You haven't been on it. It's awesome.
I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Did you get the Day Fresh one?
Yeah, we got a Day Fresh. We got Day Fresh bottle, and they're giving out Michelob Ultras yesterday, and then they give you a draft one at the end, which I think is also Day Fresh. I'm not sure. I don't know, but it was one of the best tasting Budweisers I had. So,
have you had your bottle yet?
No, I haven't.
They
gave us it was warm, so we were chilling.
Yeah, same. But I brought it back through in the freezer and had it for breakfast the next morning. It's so good.
Yeah, it's at Kelly's house. I need to maybe after her first day at work, she'll want to drink it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Probably.
How have you been?
Yeah, I just got back from Louisiana, so bow fishing. It was a good time. We shot a bunch of fish. We didn't catch many fish. Yeah, it was fun. We were messing around with some gators, feeding some gators.
We talked about that actually.
Yeah, we thought about catching it, trying to catch it with our hands, and then
catch a gator.
Yeah, there was a little one behind our house. It was 5 foot long, and I was like, yeah, I would do that. We'll try it. And then as we were thinking about it, literally a 10-footer came up, and we're like, all right, we're not we're not going down there with that one out. So yeah, we ended up not, but yeah, it was a good trip. Very fun.
Yeah, we saw the video of your brother feeding them or something.
Yeah,
illegally.
Right after you showed the sign of
and hitting his fishing pole.
Yeah. So it was a good time. But we were definitely not the first, and we of course won't be the last ones to feed those gators. So
yeah,
they were expecting it for sure.
Well, it's good to have you back. I guess we can get going with our top 10 first baseman here.
Ooh, did you see it?
Oh, you're right.
The
I never have one, so I just skip right through.
Yeah, I'll go first. I got a couple. I sent it to you guys. One was I'm gonna pull it so I can see it. It was I still can't see who it was. Someone in Louisiana Tech. They're in the College World Series, and this guy hit a pop fly to center, and the center field does not see it. He's standing right here looking around, and the ball lands all the way at the warning track, and the guy gets it inside the park. Grand slam, which was awesome.
Was it? You said college?
Yeah.
Huh.
Let me see. All right, I still don't see who it was. And then I had another one. The Pensacola Blue Wahoos walked it off on 4 consecutive hit by pitches.
Yeah, that's insane.
I've never seen.
You gotta after 2, even 3, you gotta pull it.
Seems like something the Blue Wahoos would do, though.
That's awful.
I don't know how that's even possible. Just throw it to the left. You got any comments?
Yeah, I have a bunch. So this was as of a couple days ago. The Phillies in their last 20 games were 10-10. Their last 100 games, they're 50-50. Their last 200 games, they were 100-100, and in the last 2 years, they're 44-44 against their division.
That is weird.
So they're
odd.
so average. But yeah, it's pretty wild. So Memphis college basketball just landed a recruit that's 6'10" with a 48-inch vertical, and he's got a video of him jumping, and he's touching his palm on the top of the backboard. It's absurd.
Yeah. What's his name?
I don't know his name. Do you know it?
I don't know, but now I'm excited to watch him this year.
Where'd you say he's going?
Memphis.
I saw a guy that you're describing, but he had one of the longest names I've ever heard of. So I don't know.
It could be, yeah.
Okay.
And then Vandy, they were in the College World Series or the regional, whatever you call it. And this kid during the game, so he's 40, he's had 42 stolen bases this year, has never been thrown out, and they had 17 pickoff attempts on him during the game. Yeah.
in total every time he's on
And
base.
yes, which is just absurd.
That's crazy.
You get booed, thrown over twice, but
Just pitch
yeah,
out.
yeah. And then I was watching the Tennessee, Georgia Tech game yesterday.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And the end of the game, Tennessee was up 9-4. Tech scored 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth. Ended up getting it to where there was bases loaded with 2 outs. So they're down by 3, tying runs at first. Kid works it to a 3-2 count. And the ump punches him out on a ball that goes across his shoulders. It was brutal. I mean, I was watching with my dad and my little brother, and we're just like, there's no way that was a strike. So we went back and like rewatched it, and we're like, still, it's hot, like it's at his shoulders.
Yeah.
And then we even like did slow motion, and it just goes across right at his shoulders. And we're like, you end your career, like on that.
That's ridiculous.
For a chance to like go to the super
Did you
regional.
see the other Tennessee one? I don't know if it was the same. I don't think it's the same game, but they walked it off, and the guy's running first, and he's like, flip it off.
Yeah.
Well,
Like very aggressively too.
you had I think you sent it to us the other day, the one where they called 3 straight way outside.
Yeah. Like in the other batter's box.
We saw Tommy Edmond against the Cubs. That wasn't as brutal as
that was bad.
but it was bad. So I mean, we're seeing more
Huge
and more
part of the game. Part of the
a huge swing.
Big time.
We saw
AJ's over here like somebody's like, yeah, robot umpire.
yeah.
Still
Yeah.
not in favor.
Yeah, it's bad.
So I'm in favor if there's no like kinks to it, because in the minors, I told you the other day that there's like either it was like a really bad frame and looked terrible, but it caught like the corner, and so they called a strike. Or sometimes they said there's been problems where it's caught the corner and it hasn't like gotten the buzzer on the ump, so he missed it. So that, I mean, minors is the place to fix it and get it perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm in favor if you can find a way to get it perfect. I wouldn't miss like the framing aspect. Like we talked about, Yachty's the second best frame right now in the league. Stealing strikes, and like I mentioned, Wayno the other night, taking that corner, painting that corner, and slowly like eking it out a little bit.
Also,
So
I'm not gonna like it if they're set up inside and they miss their spot and they throw it way over here and the catcher gets it. But like hits the corner.
Exactly. That's pretty much exactly what it was. So yeah, if you can get it perfect, I'm okay with it. I'm in the idea of like, I want to get everything right. But I agree. I mean, I understand where you guys come from.
So do you like instant replay in basketball?
Yeah, there's some kind of like jab at me coming. I can already feel it.
Well, you said you want to get every call right.
Yeah. With basketball, there's a lot of them. Like the flagrant stuff they do, and like
the one that I have the biggest problem with in basketball is when you get like under 2 minutes left, they review out of bounds, whatever it is. And anytime you're dribbling and a defender comes and knocks it out of your hands,
and then
it always is going to go off the dribbling player's hand.
Yeah.
Which is just so dumb. I hate that.
Yeah.
And like was that in the
that was in the
championship
Texas
game?
Tech whoever they played game.
Duke?
No, they played
They played Duke this year.
No, it was like
earlier?
whenever like a couple years ago when they were in the championship.
Oh.
Virginia. It was Virginia.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
For me, it's like not just baseball. A lot of people within their sport are trying to make the sport faster to like get fan engagement. There's so many times where you can just actually have the ump or the ref look at the scoreboard and just be like, oh, okay, and then move on.
Yeah.
But they just sit there and look at it. It seems like forever. They're trying to call somebody. So
I mean, there's like you said, I mean, probably 50% of the instant replays, you could literally just watch it one time on the video board and call it. Like, and they just have to debate forever. I don't understand why it takes them so long.
Oh, yeah, it's ridiculous sometimes.
do you guys have anything else before we get going? Did you see it, Wise?
Nope, that's all.
I guess I have a small one that we just saw. Max Scherzer's dog bit him on the hand, on the throwing hand.
Yeah.
But we can get it going with our top 10 first baseman. I had one honorable mention that was Jared Walsh. There's a couple other names that I left off my list as well. Max Muncy isn't on my list. We were trying to figure out like where we put him position wise. Joey Votto's not on my list. I'm trying to think of another big name. That's it. But you guys will probably come up with a name
Brandon
that I
Belt.
completely for, huh?
Brandon Belt,
Belt was not.
Yeah, no,
Okay. Rizzo.
Rizzo was.
Mine. Well, he's not on mine.
no, he's
Yeah.
not mine either. He's too old. He hasn't been good for like what 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, his average is really down this year too.
I put Walsh as my honorable mention.
Okay.
Hey, Colin, why are you looking at my list?
Yeah, I was gonna say I was on the wrong list. Okay,
Any big names off your list?
off of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is.
It's like a
yeah.
surprise.
You didn't have Muncie.
I didn't have Muncie either.
Did you?
I put him on because you didn't put him on any other thing. I felt like he deserved to be on it.
Yeah.
See, I didn't really think he did. So
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, I mean, he's batting like 200 this year again.
Yeah.
I'm giving him.
I'm just kidding. He's batting 150. I was being generous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's bad.
I'm throwing him
Yeah.
a bone for last year.
Where is he? I mean, I don't watch a whole lot of Dodgers games, but where is he playing? Because like, isn't Lux their second baseman? Is he
I
DH?
think they'd probably rather have him play second base than Lux.
Yeah.
It says he's played.
Is he DH in all?
He's probably played third base because Justin Turner's hurt.
Mm-hmm. He's
He
had a
can
bad
play
year.
everywhere in the infield. So he's DH, played second, third,
First when Freddie needs a day off. My number 10 was CJ Crone. This year, 14 homers, 40 RBIs, batting 292 with an 897 OPS. And I thought it was like maybe, I mean, we talk seems like every week about the Colorado factor, but he's had some prior success here. He's hit over 25 homers 3 times, had 30 homers 1 year in Tampa. Always around that 250 and above. So I mean, just a solid guy.
career 264 hit.
Yeah, ton of power, and he's done it for about 9 years now. So was in LA, it looks like for 4, then 1 year in Tampa, Minnesota, Detroit, and 2 in Colorado now. So I don't think it's a 1-year wonder. I think this is, I don't know about the 292. That might be a little Colorado outfield help, but yeah, he's kind of proven himself.
My number 10 is Ty France. He is.
I love Ty.
Would you have him like number 3?
No, I have him not that much higher.
He's like last year was to me his breakout season. He played the only time he's played over 100 games. Hit 291, 368 on base, 18 home runs, 73 RBIs, and also fun fact, he led the league in hit by pitches with 27. So he's getting on base any way possible, and he's playing really good this year. He's batting 332, 4 or 5 on base, and like, I just think he's super solid. And he's a career 291 average, but he's only played. He really hasn't played that many games until this past year in 2021. So I think he's solid, but it's just a small sample size.
How old is he now?
27.
Okay.
He's kind of older too.
And how many hit by pitches does he have this year? 'Cause
11. He's leading the league.
I was watching their game last night. And he got hit twice, I think.
Who you got, Colin?
I have Josh Bell at 10.
That would be a name I forgot.
Oh, oops. No, but he's been solid. He's batting 302 this year, 5 homers. He's been solid for a few years. He's fairly young, I think. He's 29, so he's not super young, but he's fairly young, and he's gonna get moved, I think, by the end of this year from Washington for a team that needs some hitting. And he's also for his career. Most of his career was in Pittsburgh, who has one of the worst hitters ballparks, and then Washington's is really not a hitter friendly ballpark. So I hope he goes somewhere that he's on a good team, and he'll.
I think he'd be a perfect DH.
Oh, yeah.
Switching in
Yeah.
DH, or if you need a first base.
Also, another pirate that got away. Every list we have one. My number 9 was Eric Hosmer, and Hosmer is kind of, I guess, kind of been up and down these last couple of years in San Diego. Not as high as he had a few tremendous years in Kansas City. Won a World Series with them, but this year batting 296. 4 homers, 25 RBIs, 780 OPS. Very good defensive player as well. I'm really high, and I mentioned it last week, on availability and durability. And the dude has played 150 plus games. I don't even want to go through and count them. It looks like 8 of the 12 years, something like that. So very durable. Not the same guy that was in Kansas City. I probably would have had him closer to my top 5, honestly, when he was in KC. I'm really high on Eric Hosmer, and I'm glad he's bouncing back this year.
My number 8 is CJ Crone. AJ talked a lot about him, but I just think he's shown more. Well, he's been in the league, bigger sample size than Ty France, and he's been super productive. The last, counting this year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, he's been like super good. He had 30 home runs, 74 RBIs, then 25 and 78 RBIs. Then COVID year, he like was hurt and played for Detroit, so that was kind of weird. And then these last year, he hit 28 home runs and 92 RBIs. And yeah, it's Colorado, but like you still got to hit.
Yeah.
And I think he's pretty good. That's all I got.
Yeah, my 9 is Jared Walsh. He is batting
Wow.
to 258 this year, 10 home runs. Last year in 144 games, he batted almost 280 with almost 30 home runs. So he's been good. Pretty small sample size, but yeah, even this year. So last year is really good, and this year he's pretty solid as well. So hopefully he keeps it up.
My number 8 is Ty France, and besides Cardinals, he's probably my favorite player in baseball. I love watching him play. Dude can just flat out rake. He's got a 405 on base percentage this year. Zach mentioned pretty much all the rest of his stats, but I'm looking at him here, and yeah, he's only played the 2 full years, or that full year last year and then this year, if he stays healthy. Looks like he leads all baseball in plate appearances. But I saw a stat when I was watching the Mariners game last night that he's batting 415 with runners in scoring position, which reminded me of remember that crazy Alan Craig stretch?
Yeah. I think it was literally every time Alan Craig played. I don't know if it was a crazy stretch. Like literally every time he was up for
he always came through. But no, Ty is not that great of a defender. But even with his 43 games in 2020, I guess that's the majority of that season. He batted 305, 291 last year with 332 this year. I think he could get you 20 homers, and yeah, he plays third, plays first, plays second. Not really great at any of them, but but dude can rake. So I'm a Ty France fan.
I had Josh Bell as number 8, just because last year just raked. Year before that raked. He's been super solid, and I really didn't realize this until I looked at the stats that when he was 26 with Pittsburgh, he hit 37 home runs and had 116 RBIs. That's pretty good. And he's batting 302 this year with the 376 on base, 5 homers, 31 RBIs, in a non-hitter friendly park. And as Colin said, I'm excited to see him go somewhere else. He's just been pretty consistent, kind of flying under the radar of other people, I think. And I think he's super solid.
Yeah, my 8 is also Ty France. I also like it. AJ already mentioned pretty much everything about him, but I like rooting for guys that kind of got stuck, I guess, in the minors for a little bit and had to develop there. So he's, what did we say, 27? And so, yeah, he did his time. So yeah, root for him.
My number 7 was Anthony Rizzo. And I think it's more of I know we have the criteria of like who would we want now. And looking at his stats here, the last 2 looks like, I guess since the COVID year, his average has really dropped off. And then in New York, his average has been actually terrible. Definitely got the batting or the power still with that short porch and right field in New York. But
yeah, you probably just like bun it over the
exactly. But no, he's insanely durable. 150 plus the majority of his career, but still a tremendous defender. I still think, I mean, he's 32, going to be turning 33. I still think he'd get that average up. I think they're in New York. You see some of those guys, Joey Gallo too, where they're just so stuck in like, oh, there's a short porch, let's just yank it over there.
I think Joey Gallo's always been in that.
Yeah, that's true. You're not wrong.
Career average of like 190.
Yeah. But no, I'm not a Rizzo fan because of the whole like Cubs thing being our rival, but I think he's probably the 3rd best defender on this list. And I still think he could get on base. I mean, last year he was a 344 on base, 342 before that, only 318 this year. But yeah, Rizzo is my number 7.
My number 7 is the guy who you guys both don't have, Max Muncy. Feel like he should have been on a list because he plays all over the place.
Yeah.
I hate the Dodgers. Don't really like Max Muncy, but I gotta give him credit where credit's due. And ever since he's been with the Dodgers since 2018, he's had 3 years where he's hit 35 plus home runs. He's been top 15 MVP voting 3 years. Drove in 79, 98, and 94. This year he's playing awful. In 41 games, he's batting 150. So that's really good. But I feel like he deserves some credit. He's solid, he plays everywhere in the infield, and I'm assuming he'll probably pick it up, but it's been 41 games and he's not been.
I was about to say I haven't heard much from him this year, and that must be why.
Yeah. But I have Eric Hosmer here. He's having a resurgent year. He's batting almost 300, only 4 home runs, but his power has kind of dropped off the last few years. But he's hitting for average, and like AJ said, I mean, he's played 150 games in 8 of his seasons, and the least amount of games he's played in a season is 128.
Yeah.
So really, really durable.
I think this top 6, unless you guys have somebody different in there, I think the top 6 could be pretty similar. My number 6 was Jose Abreu, and Jose, I believe it was. Maybe it wasn't. I was going to say last year he struggled, but it was just his average because he had 30 and 117.
Slight work.
Talk about just consistent, though. Ever since he's come here from, I don't know where he came from. Where's he from? He's from
Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba. And so he came here a little late in his career. He was 27 when he made his debut rookie season. But I'm seeing like a theme here with these first basemen is that they're all durable. It's not a high.
It's not like shortstop where you're running around diving.
Yeah, exactly.
The time you really dive is
High
every
risk.
once in a
That's what
while.
you see all the athletes on first.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I feel like I've said this for the last couple, but 150 plus games in every season, but 2, I think.
One was the COVID year.
Yeah, so he's a prototypical 30 and 100 guy. Kind of, going to
Done that little for every single year of his career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this year the average is down. Actually,
Like I had him 6 in my list too.
Did you?
Yeah.
because he was his.
Also did. So.
Oh, okay, good. His average was down at the beginning of this year. It's still only 255, but he got really hot lately. He's been like 430 in his last 10 or something like that. So
And he did win an MVP. It is COVID year, so
Mhm.
asterisks, big asterisks.
Mhm.
As someone else in the list, also big asterisks. But yeah, like as you were saying, he's just
Look at that on base
super
percentage.
consistent.
On base percentage is insane.
Yeah, career 288 hitter, 350 on base. Like if you look at his 162 game average on Baseball Reference, I don't know really. I guess I just do all the games and divide it by 162, but his 162 game average is 33 home runs, 113 RBIs, 288 average, 350 on base. That's pretty good for your career.
I think if he could have came here when he was 22 or something, we could be talking about a Hall of Fame
Oh, for sure.
type guy. I just think he came over a little too late.
Yeah.
Anything on Jose that we didn't mention? Because you had him
So.
6, you said, right?
Yeah.
My number 5 was Pete Alonso. And that's not because I know Pete's a top 3 first baseman this year, but that's not because just he's a Met and we don't like the Mets.
I also just don't like him.
I don't- yeah.
yeah, exactly.
He's
But
kind of a psycho.
I honestly believe that these 4 ahead of him are better than him. He's 27 now. Like I said, tremendous year. 16 homers, 53 RBIs, batting 285 with a 918 OPS. But only been 4 years in the league.
Yeah.
That first year was absolutely insane. 53 homers, 120 RBIs. I mean, he's not known for the average, but when you're hitting 53 homers, I think you can get away with a 260
Yes.
average. But yeah, Pete was my 5.
I had him as 5 too.
Okay.
I think he could hit a ton of home runs by the time he's done. He is 27. Already 122 home runs in 4 years, which is crazy. I think he could. You may be able to get 50 this year.
Definitely.
Yeah, good.
Aaron Judge is going to get 50, I think.
Oh yeah.
He was also my 5 as well.
All
so
right.
Nothing really to add. I had him at 4, and then Zach's like, "Yeah, we really don't like him." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. We really don't like him." So
Yeah, it was kind of like I'm trying not to be
Biased.
because I think we had Tommy we have Tommy sixth on second baseman,
Yeah,
sixth or
you had him
seventh.
7. I had him 6.
That's right.
See, I
Um,
support our team's better than NJ.
Yeah, I accidentally clicked on Scott Olson here, but Matt Olson is my number 4.
Same.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. He's not had a tremendous year in his first year in Atlanta this year, but these last few years, I'm getting it pulled up here. And
He's not having a bad year.
no, I thought the average was low, but looking at his prior years, it's not as low as I thought.
His own base is high, and he leads the league in L and doubles.
Okay. And then I mean last year 39 and 111. The COVID year was solid. And then
Oh God, he batted awful that year.
I didn't see the
He
average.
batted 195, but he hit 14 homers at 42 RBI.
Yeah, I just saw the homers and RBIs. But I mean those two prior years too, 36-91, 29-84.
And even the 24 and 45, he did that in 59 games.
Yeah. 28 years old.
2 Gold Gloves.
I was about to say very
Yeah.
good defender. That's what put him above Alonso for me.
Yeah, super solid. He's very durable too, as some of these other guys. Played a lot of games.
And one of the weirdest batting stances I think I've ever seen. You seen it? Where he has
Yeah.
like his hands completely out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else on Matt Olson?
No, just super solid.
Yeah.
I think he'll pick it up and get back to some of those. He'll get over 30 home runs, I think, and get back to the
Yeah.
numbers he's had in his career.
I feel like we say this pretty much with every new guy going to a new team, but he might be pushing it a little bit in
Yeah,
Atlanta.
you always want to
Well,
perform.
he's also got to kind of replace Freddie there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So which
that's
is kind of
tough.
tough.
Mr.
yeah.
Reliable.
Yeah.
My number 3 was the very exciting Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This year, his on base percentage is solid, but he hasn't been hitting as consistent. And I mentioned, I think last week, I try to catch as many Blue Jays games as possible. So I see that he's not as scary as what he was last year. But I mean, he's 23 years old. He'll probably get back to it this year. Last year, 48 and 111, a 401 on base percentage, a 311 average. Holy cow! And
And if Shohei Ohtani didn't pitch,
Yeah.
he would have won MVP.
Yep.
Just because he kept his ERA under 4,
Mhm.
he's gonna be an MVP. Basically, if he hits good.
also for being a pretty thick guy, can move really well. Very a very I think underrated defender. He makes a lot of very nice over the head plays at first. He was third base, I guess, in 2020. Is that right?
Yeah. When he first came up, he was, or in 2019.
And I think that's a wise decision to move him over there because erratic arm and big body moving over there.
Yeah, he
But-
led the league in runs, homers, on base percentage, slugging, OPS plus, and total bases last year.
Yeah. Like you said, if Otani didn't pitch,
Yeah.
or if Otani didn't pitch as well, even
Yeah.
I think Vladdy would have gotten it.
I had Vladdy 3 as well.
Sweet.
Me too.
Low, if he was hit raking this year, maybe he'd be maybe 2, but he's having a little bit of a
Yeah, I mean, if
Down
he
here,
was having another MVP season, he'd be 1.
I think he'd be 1 too for me.
I'm assuming, let me guess who you have 2.
Is that
Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman's number 2? And so looks like we're all gonna agree here on our top 5.
Wow.
That's
Your top 6.
that's the first. Yeah, you're right. Top 6. Freddie this year, the power hasn't come quite yet, but the RBIs are there. 4 homers, 30 RBIs, batting 291 with an 830 OPS. I feel like being in LA, I thought I'd hear even more about him.
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't heard that much about him. That might be just the power thing because his average is great.
Maybe it's just because they have bigger stars like Mookie and Trey Turner are arguably
Yeah.
playing better than him.
I mean,
right
talk
now.
about pitching too. They got over there. So
Yeah.
But no, Freddie's just Mr. Reliable. Been doing it for so long now.
Consistent.
And before we got Goldie, I was really if there was any
Yeah.
first baseman we could get, Freddie was the guy I kind of wanted. Also just seems like a really genuine guy. I know that
super
doesn't
nice.
go into our ranking list,
Yeah.
but just a very cool guy and durable as can be. But what do you guys got on Freddie?
Super consistent. 295 career batting average in 13 years.
Uh-huh.
384 on base, which is super consistent. Hits over 20 home runs every year. He's generated more power as he's gotten a little older. just super like he's the first baseman any team would love to have.
Is he on that track to be a Hall of Famer? He's only 32.
He needs to start hitting.
Think he can
He
get there?
needs to start hitting. That's what we put it. He needs to start hitting for a little more power, I think.
Yeah.
To be in that.
He has
But yeah.
17
Does he have a Gold Glove?
100. He has one.
Yeah, 1 in 20.
So one of my big points, we all have Goldschmidt number one.
Yep.
And one of my big things about why Goldschmidt's better than Freddie Freeman, one, Freddie Freeman's WAR in 13 years is 44.8. Goldie's in 12 is 53.8.
Yeah.
So like 10 higher. Goldie has 4 Gold Gloves.
Yeah.
Freddie has 1. Goldie's been top 3 in MVP voting 3 times. I don't know about Freddie. I didn't look at this one until I just looked at it. Freddie won the MVP, but big asterisk.
2020.
And that was the only time he was top 3 voting. And Goldie, like, Jesus, he's good.
Yeah, Goldie's both of our number ones as well. And this year is the MVP so far. 12 homers, 47 RBIs, batting 342 with a 1037 OPS. I'm looking at his
Even though everyone on like stupid shows are like Manny Machado MVP, and I'm like,
Yeah.
do you even watch baseball? I know we're biased, but like you can't like stud.
I thought about this the other day, and I've probably missed a handful of Cardinals games since he's become a Cardinal. Watching him, I can remember vividly just one mistake that he's ever made at first base, and he took it in extra innings, and he accidentally threw it past, like it was a ground ball to first, and he threw it in the center. Like, you guys actually remember that? Because that's the only actual mistake I can like remember with him.
I do think that all of our infielders are better with Goldie. Like if
Oh, yeah.
Jose Martinez
yeah.
was our first baseman,
Oh, yeah.
like Tommy Evan may not win a Gold Glove. Some of these other guys may not have won a Gold Glove.
When he came over here, it made me appreciate that much more, because after seeing Jose and Carpenter the last couple of years,
Yeah.
like, and even Albert last night, Nada threw in a little high. It probably would have been high for Goldie too, but Albert wasn't even close.
No. Albert, like back in the day, could get it, but now
yeah,
he's
yeah.
42 years old.
Now Goldie's absolutely unbelievable.
How
And
many Gold Gloves did Albert win with us? 2, 3?
I think it was 2. I think I said 2 last night actually.
Okay.
But yeah, since Goldie's been with us, his first year at 34 homers and 97 RBIs, like his average was 260, which I remember watching that year, and he kind of like somehow got those numbers kind of under the radar because his average was low. And then he got back to the 300 mark in the COVID year.
COVID year, he just didn't have the power.
Yeah. And then last year, got back to
Yeah.
Arizona numbers. And this year, playing maybe the best in his career.
It might be the best year so far.
And he's always been under the radar because he's in Arizona. No one talks about the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Unless they had Randy Johnson.
I want to mention that he had 32 stolen bases in 2016,
That's crazy.
because that still blows my mind.
Andy led the league in walks.
And then same year, 2016, 705 plate appearances, which led all of baseball. But we talk about how, like, I mentioned it last night, that he moves really well, but really poorly at the same time.
He looks like he moves really fast.
Yeah. But he's got just sneaky.
Yeah.
I think more of it's just he's so smart
I will say
that he can still.
Paul Goldschmidt was screwed in 2005 on the MVP. He lost it to Andrew McCutcheon.
Yeah.
He led the NL in homers and RBIs, slugging and OPS. Andrew McCutcheon didn't lead anything
Mhm.
except like he had more steals than him.
I remember that the Pirates were decent that year and made the playoffs. and
Just
that's-
probably sucked that Arizona. So
Yeah.
Yachty was actually third that year, and Matt Carpenter was fourth.
Yeah, he was
Wow.
third in MVP voting.
Yeah.
Ha.
He had 12 homers, 80 RBIs, batted 319. That was Matt Carpenter's good year where he hit for average.
He's batting. I saw last night. He's batting 264 with the Yankees with like 4 homers and 5 hits.
And one of those hits he bunted.
I think his
Of course.
first four
Yeah.
hits, I think, were home
Yeah.
runs. Yeah.
But
And all of them were to dead left, like the left field
Oh,
line, you know, where it's really
Yeah.
short over
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Wait, you mean dead right?
Yeah, dead right, dead
Yeah.
right.
I was like,
Yeah,
you
in
telling
my
me he hit a
opposite, all 4. But it was kind of nice and refreshing to finally agree on the top 6 there. We'll have catchers next, which I believe is probably the weakest position. It's really not good.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to it.
No, but let's move on with some.
You gonna put Yachty on the list?
No.
just to throw him a bone.
No, I wish, but the Cardinals won 3 of 5 in Chicago versus the Cubs. Saturday night they had an extra inning win. Sunday night they had an extra inning win. Saturday night it was the Brendan Donovan show that he put on, and we were just all of us just absolutely love him, just raving about him. And then last night, I know Newt Bar broke it open. Bader had a big hit in the 9th, 10th, something like
Yeah.
that. Ninth.
And the
A player's been
Yeah.
playing good as Harrison Bader. Like his average is
Yeah.
like 270.
Yeah.
His on base is really low, but
well, this series,
Yeah.
I mean, he went from what 250 to like 275.
Yeah.
something like
if
that.
you can hit around there,
You know who my
Take
player
on
of the
that.
game last night was? Genesis Cabrera.
he pitched like 3 innings. Didn't
It
he?
was 60
4.
pitches.
Dang.
Isn't that crazy?
Make him a starter.
He looked like
He came. You remember
I
he came
know.
up as a starter?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm torn
Blocked
because
so many people.
I feel like Helsley could be a starter if he wanted to, because he was in the minors. There's so many guys in the bullpen that
I like Helsley as the bullpen because
I
if you
do.
put all
He needs
these
to be a
guys to the
closer. He
starters,
needs
then
to just
you,
be our closer.
Yeah.
if you make all these guys starters, then you're gonna have to have like
exactly.
put Steven Matz as our lefty specialist.
No, I definitely agree that Hennessy's should be in the bullpen, but he showed that he's a guy that can stretch out some innings though for you.
Yeah.
60 pitches shocked me though. I know Helsley pitched a ton the night before. I think Gallegos did too. So you knew you had to go with him. I was trying
Waino
to
pitched yesterday, right? That's when he went 7
7,
innings,
yeah.
2 earned,
He did-
no strikeouts.
He gave up
Yeah.
9 hits though.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. That's,
I was kind of wanting him to come out for the 8th, even though he's at 102, because of the
They were talking on the broadcast. They said, "I'll give you 130."
130. Yeah. Because like
He was throwing like a 2-seam fastball, 85 miles an
Oh,
hour, but just dominating.
yeah, I knew our bullpen was beat up, so I was kind of hoping. I also like seeing starting pitchers go deep. It's like one of my favorite things to watch. But no, Hennessy's was absolutely huge. Was it just Waino and Hennessy's last night? Is that all
I think
they
so.
pitched?
Yeah.
Because yeah, Hennessy's was great. But couple big names that are in the minors right now. So Tyler O'Neill is 5 for 9 so far in AAA. Hit a homer last night off Lance Lynn, actually.
Yeah.
he's 5 for 13 now.
13 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just look it up.
No, I saw it this morning.
And then DeYoung has back-to-back games with homers down there, batting
Still
like
battling.
220.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's 1 for 5 with a
Yeah.
home run every day.
How's Carlson doing? I haven't.
I literally just put down Carlson's in Double A. I know the other night he was 0 for 4, but I hadn't seen since.
And Flaherty's making a rehab start.
He was
Did he-
supposed to yesterday.
He
I don't
made,
know.
he made one yesterday.
He did.
3 innings, no hits, no runs, 3 Ks.
Decent.
I like
so
that.
I think it was
Getting
like
excited.
42 pitches or something like that. So
I will say that I just feel like we're kind of putting it together. Like everyone's kind of hitting.
Zach,
We're winning closer games. Like we shouldn't have taken. The games against the Cubs shouldn't have been as close, but
No.
we pulled it out, and like we don't have O'Neill or Carlson, and we're
Yeah.
or Dickerson, a big piece of our team. But,
yeah.
like Newbar had a big hit. Yepes, Donovan.
We did
Bader.
mention Sosa missed third base the other night. Do you see that?
Yes.
Gorman had a really nice hit though.
Yes, with
Drove it the other way.
Oppo
Yeah.
single.
Yeah. No, that was really good to see. Especially, what was it last night? Was he facing Norris where he looked absolutely just like lost?
Who, Gorman?
Yeah, he struck out and the ball got away. Do you guys see that?
No.
The ball got away. Eddie was at third, and that would have been the go-ahead run.
Mhm.
And Gorman didn't run out of the box, and then he barely was out.
Oh, really?
But he stood there in the box for quite a while, so it was kind of a down moment for him. But no, I agree. I like where we're at. I like where we're going too, especially with these names coming back.
We need
Just
a
do
starting
the
pitcher.
pitchers.
We need a starting pitcher so bad.
Other than Flaherty, or do you think Flaherty?
Oh,
can-
I
we
think
need
even
another.
with Flaherty coming back, we need
Uh-huh.
another.
Michael's has struggled a little bit lately.
Michael's has struggled. the last
Hudson, you
few
don't know
games.
what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Waino, he'll get it done.
It's
Normally.
innings for me. I feel like it's going to catch up.
yeah.
Like Hicks and Hudson are given 4 or 5.
Flaherty's not going to give much. He
Not off the
never,
bat for sure.
he never really did, except for that one run he had.
I thought of a name. We
For
talked.
half the season.
We talked about this last episode of like names. So I want to give you some of those names too, like Frankie Montas, Bumgarner's there.
Yeah, they're talking about.
They were talking about
too.
Bumgarner earlier on
Yeah.
TV.
The Cardinals
I
are
was
Yeah.
talking about
Really?
Machado's, right now.
Yeah.
Ugh. What were the other names that we talked about? Luis Castillo, Taylor Molly.
The
Tyler Muller?
Reds aren't going to send us anyone.
No, that's
It'd be nice to still have Cindy Alcantara.
Yeah. Just
you know, I thought about that yesterday, and in the moment, because we saw Sandy for like 4 games up here, and he was whatever. But in the moment, you're getting like we thought Ozuna was.
Like he hit 37 home runs and 142 RBIs the year before.
Yeah.
Hit like 330.
So I'm in
Gold
agreement.
glove.
I'm in agreement that like Mo.
Yeah, you didn't have a right arm with
Yeah,
for us.
seriously.
He could throw it farther with his left arm.
I'm in the agreement that Mo makes a lot of iffy decisions for sure. But I think that one looks terrible now. But in the moment, I understand it.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially like I know Zach Gallen we talked about is switching really well for
The only-
Arizona.
The only problem I have with that is like he had one really good year, like Ozuna, and
Yeah.
we gave away all
Yeah.
that for, based on pretty much one
Yeah.
season.
Yeah.
Which
Can you imagine?
I'd rather have. I honestly wish we had Yelich.
Yeah.
Because we would have got 2 of his crazy years.
He's even. It's hard to come back after those 2 amazing years if you're Yelich.
He also hurt his back.
Yeah, and he's
I
not
think
playing
that's
terribly
why-
now, but it looks bad compared to
I just think I bet his back just hurts.
yeah. But I mean, imagine Flaherty, Sandy, and Wayno. But we have a 3-game set starting tomorrow, Tuesday night in Tampa. Kind of an odd in Tampa, and then we come back here in Cincy. Like it's usually like a whole trip. We Miami or
Yeah.
whatever, but kind of odd. But you know, I agree. I like where we're at. I like to see where we're at against a really good team like Tampa too. So
Yeah, I agree.
other news from around the league. I feel like I personally talk about them every single episode, but the Angels have now lost 11 straight games.
And Mike Trout has not had a hit in 26,
Yeah.
which is the longest of his career.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's still batting over 300, maybe.
It's
like
like 280,
290.
285, but
Okay.
still. I'd also want to mention the Brewers' struggles. They got shut out twice by the Padres.
And we're half a game back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they lost last night. Wong had 2 homers, but
Oh.
they lost
We watched a recap right before you got
Did you?
here.
a Cronenworth 3-run homer, gave him the lead. So,
Prone zone.
so yeah, the Brewers,
Didn't you leave him off your second base list?
he was on honorable mention.
Oh my god.
You
Yeah.
had Wong on his list.
Did
You
I?
had- Yeah, you
I
had
think I
him at,
left
like,
him off
you had Wong. Oh, yeah, you did. leave
because
him off.
we forgot some names like DJ LeMahieu and stuff.
Yeah. You
Um,
forgot names.
But no, the Brewers don't scare me, and I've said this for like a year and a half now. Their pitching is unreal, but
They're good. They've had injuries.
exactly,
Yeah.
and it takes. If Burns goes down, for example, they are literally a middle of the pack team. Their offense is absolutely nothing for me.
Hater is Hater been as good?
He
Is
hasn't given
still-
up a run in 40 innings
Still,
like throughout the last. 4
I still
innings.
think we hit Hater good because he's a lefty and we're all righties.
I feel like we put up like competitive at bats against
I
them all the
agree.
time. The Phillies are 4-0 after the Girardi fire, and they actually had a crazy game yesterday. And you guys will probably, I don't know if you saw it, you'll probably hate it. Bryce Harper's game tying grand
Oh, your
slam.
favorite player.
He's up there. And then it was against the Angels. The Angels are just falling apart. You know what it looked like? It looked like how the Cardinals were last year. Remember, where like bullpen arms would come in, and it was just like blowing
Game over.
everything.
Yeah, their pitchers are. I think when they were shown on TV, it was like they had during their 11-game losing streak like 6.8 ERA.
The Angels.
The starting pitchers,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Syndergaard has been really bad. Lorenzen has struggled his last couple. Actually, Otani's been pretty bad too, pitching wise. The Braves are finally getting it going. They've won 5 straight. I would say the whole NL East is hot too. I know the Nationals won, I think, 3 straight, and I think the Marlins are the only one not on a winning streak.
How's Acuna played? I'm looking at his stats.
He had a homer yesterday, but I don't think we mentioned this happened like last week. Brendan Rodgers, he was a top draft pick, I think number 2 overall or 3 overall. Had 3 homers in the game the other night, and one of them was a walk-off homer.
Oh, damn.
And
For who?
then I mentioned, what's that?
For who?
The Rockies.
Okay.
And then I mentioned it to you at your party the other night that Lane Thomas had 3 homers the other night. Did you see that?
I didn't see that.
He has like 5 on the year now.
Nice.
And he's batting like 210. But yeah, good for Lane.
Acuna's batting 313, 408 on base.
Yeah.
3 homers, 13 RBIs, and 10 stolen bases.
Yeah, he's back.
26 games.
And then I had a couple questions for you guys. What do you think about the Cubs' future now that we saw them for 5 games? I mean, do you think they have any type of bright? I know there's one Cubs fan that listens to this regularly, but what do you think about the Cubs' future?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't realize half the people's names.
I watched a total of 1 inning the last 5 games.
Yeah.
So I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, did you see the Morel kid? He
Oh,
plays.
didn't he pitch?
No, he played center field. Now he's at second base, or he played center field and second base. He was a leadoff hitter. He
Well, they have the rookie too, the Suzuki, right?
Yeah,
He'd probably win.
Did he even play?
he's out right now.
Okay.
He's on the IL. But no, Morel is interesting because he's very flashy. He's like got that Dominican or the Hispanic like fire to him.
Javier.
Yeah,
Yes.
but they told a weird story, and one broadcast told one story, and the other told another. So he apparently can't close his glove hand all the way. He's got or he can close it, sorry, but he can't bend the fingers that well. So like when he has to like rearrange his fingers in his glove or something, he has to use his throwing hand to move them.
Mhm.
So one broadcast said, it was the Fox one. They said that he was sitting in the minors and the team bus left. And so he realized they were leaving. So he sprinted and there was a glass door and he ran through the glass door and shattered some nerve in his arm.
The glass door of the bus?
The glass door of the cafeteria, whatever he was sitting in.
Oh.
Okay. So we were like, oh, that's a little like, oh, poor guy. But then the other one, where we at ESPN last night? On ESPN, they said that they were going out to eat, and the glass door of that building like was locked, so he tried to break it open, and so that's when he shattered his arm. So like,
So it just has to do with it. So we don't know what happened, but
it's a
we know
glass
it,
door.
we know it
Yeah.
involves a glass door.
Yeah. But no, he looks like a good player, and I know Contreras is, and I'm not a Contreras fan, but he's probably the best catcher so far this year.
He's gonna get traded.
Yeah, I think he'll be traded. But they just kind of scrapped everything.
All I know is Frank Schwindel destroyed us.
8 for 11 at one point.
Who's the
Didn't he-
Ortega seemed like
Didn't
he
he cap at 500 this series too?
Yeah.
He
He
always
always kills
Hap
us.
kills us.
I hate him.
Um,
Sorry to the Cubs fan,
Rafi,
but I hate the Cubs.
Rafi Ortega looked good, and then Patrick Wisdom. Patrick Wisdom in the last 159 games has 40 homers,
Jeez. What's
So-
his average?
like 220.
It's his own base.
Not high.
280.
But no,
Pass.
if I'm a Cubs fan, I don't like the future, especially the next few
It
years.
doesn't, to me, like I hate the Cubs, and I'm glad that their owners do this and make their teams bad. But I don't understand how they're not good every year.
Yeah.
Because they're in a big market.
They mentioned that last night.
Like LA, they just throw money at everyone.
Yeah.
Like you should be able to I
Yeah.
think get free agents.
Oh yeah. Carl Ravitch, the announcer last night, said, "It seems like the Cubs are just missing a couple players, and the Cardinals have those couple players. Like, no duh. Like, we have Goldie and Nato at our corners.
They
and
have Frank Schwindel and Patrick
Patrick Wisdom, yeah. So, and my other team I wanted to talk to you guys about, and I know, including myself, none of us have watched them, but the Detroit Tigers are extreme disappointment to me. I thought they would be semi-decent.
Yeah, they had all those top prospects.
Yeah.
Man, and they just
Tolkerson. So
He's been really bad. No, I don't.
how's
I don't.
Javi Baez been?
Awful, like 175.
Good.
Yeah, it's been a terrible season for them.
That makes me happy.
Pitching's been awful. They're
Miggy's been the bright spot.
yeah,
Is he still
he
hitting
has.
it?
I think he's like 290 something. Yeah,
Nice.
but their average with runners in scoring position is like the worst in baseball. Yeah, just absolutely terrible right now for the Tigers. But anything else baseball wise before we move on?
just Brendan Donovan. Did you see this whole stuff where he's getting in trouble?
Yes,
Yeah.
and that was Cubs fans, wasn't it?
I would assume.
I saw it was
don't
Cubs
know.
fans. Yeah,
The only thing, like, I really don't like that happens all the time when
Oh,
people like
oh, yeah.
are up and coming and stuff. People dig up like stuff they said in the past, whatever.
He was like 12 or 14. wasn't
Yeah,
he?
I was gonna say. I just looked
Yeah.
at it. He was like 13.
yeah.
It's
And
ridiculous. I don't. He just says homophobic language,
Okay.
and that was 2011. He's 25 now. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 14,
Yeah.
13, 14.
See, I have a problem with that.
11 years ago.
Yeah.
So why do you have Twitter when you're 13?
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem with this.
Yeah. Seriously.
When did Twitter come out? It's probably way before that. That was probably a
know.
stupid question.
Yeah, I know that's happening a ton these last couple of years. Is anytime, like you said, anytime.
Draft day, everything.
Yeah. So,
I just
def-
think of Larry Tunsil and the gas mask.
The gas
I definitely don't agree. Since it's what, 11 years old or whatever. So,
He was literally probably in middle school.
yeah. And everybody, I think all of us could agree that none of us are homophobic, but we all make at that age, we all made some kind of.
Well, the other thing is like on his part, once you like are a prospect and stuff, you should probably go back and check those things.
I completely
Yes.
agree. I think that could be like an organization thing too. Make
Right.
sure everybody's
Yeah.
clean slated and
Yep. Well, especially like the college guys, like football players that are getting drafted. Like, why are you not as a college? Why are you not like coaching them through that? Like, just think. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just so simple to do.
Yeah.
Just like scroll a little bit and delete all your dumb stuff.
I agree. Let's move on to the NHL here. Sadly, the Avalanche are up 3-0 and on the Oilers. I even put down JT out of all the names they have.
Comfort.
JT Comfer is the guy that's killing everybody. So I know Draisaitl and Nurse are both beat up a little bit, but they won. What was it last night? A 1-goal game, I think.
3-2.
I think so. And then the night before that, or the game before that, was 4-0. Did you see Evander Kane's hit on Kadri?
Yeah,
What do you think?
I didn't think it was that dirty.
I didn't think so either.
No.
Because he kind of just gave him a tap.
Yeah, he just got kind of knocked off balance,
Mm-hmm.
and he was already kind of falling, which I don't think Kane really realized.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't think it was that dirty.
But I don't mind it.
Karma.
No, I don't mind it at all. I was stoked when I saw that. I was like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Because we were
Well
driving back from
deserved.
Louisiana, and I was like, I couldn't watch the game, but I was like following it on Twitter, and I was like, let's go.
Yeah.
So I saw the video, and I was like, oh, that's really not that bad.
No, I think he's out for the rest of the series at
Yeah.
least.
Well, that'll be another just one day.
That's true.
But we talked about that
Tonight,
We
I think.
said whichever team won the Blues, Avalanche, we're gonna win in 4 or 5.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
We
Not
mentioned
really.
that last episode too.
not really surprising.
Yeah.
I wonder how he feels to get knocked out of the playoffs after he's knocked down 2 people his
Mhm.
last 2 years.
Yep. No, he's I wish we could have seen. I agree it's over. It's gotta be. I wish we could have seen Draisaitl and McDavid on the biggest of stages though. That's what I really wanted to see. But in the
Still need a goalie.
definitely. You talking Oilers or
But yeah,
Oilers? In the East, the Lightning actually went down 2-0 in New York, but had a huge game 3
That
win
was Vasilevsky's first time losing back-to-back games.
in
right?
like a century or something, something crazy. No, Andre Palat had a last-minute goal last night in Game 3. An insane Kucherov pass. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, we were watching the
Behind.
Tampa Bay radio guy, and the guy was just yelling Palat. Like
He
was
always
hilarious.
yells like crazy. Yeah. But no, it was a tremendous Kucherov pass. We talked about it a little bit last episode of like the Rangers and how I think either two things. Either they're playing well, but either this is actually just their year to do something.
the Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like a Blues thing? Because they came back from 3-1 on Pittsburgh. Who they play in the second round? I'm drawing a blank. Carolina. They won that game 7 that was improbable. So what are your thoughts, I guess, on the Rangers? Do you think they could?
It doesn't really make sense.
Yeah.
Like at all. Like their 5-on-5 numbers, like during the season, were really not good. Like they were awful
Oh,
for the
yeah.
first half of the year. Second half of the year, they were very like middle, like 15, 16 in the league. So it just doesn't make sense. But they do have the best goalie right now. But I don't know. Like everything's just been going right for them. They didn't face a like starting goalie until this series.
Yep.
It's just Sid Crosby was out. Otherwise, they lose that first series.
I was about to say, is it more of a luck thing?
like it's a little bit of everything. But I guess normally that's how it goes.
Do you think Tampa Bay's getting a little tired?
That's a big
It
thing
could be.
too.
Well, points out again for game 4.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a little bit of everything. But yeah, like you said, the Blues here, every like division winner lost in the first round.
Yep. Everything
So,
fell in place.
It's just I don't know.
I-
Just how it goes.
I would say that the Lightning still win the series if I were going to bet on it.
I would, yeah.
But I mean, shoot, it could be Rangers Avalanche in the final, which actually would suck. I would hate watching that
I would, yeah.
because I'm not a New York fan in any capacity usually.
I don't mind the Rangers. I would definitely be rooting for the Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
But
I want the Lightning. What the heck? Go.
I'm
3 in a row.
not. I'm not one that kind of wants I kind of want something different, you know.
yeah,
But with all these 4 left, obviously cheering for the Oilers over everybody.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't mind the Lightning win. They don't rub me the wrong way in
No.
anything. They do it the right way. So
they're just a really good team.
yeah. So tonight's Avalanche Oilers sweep, right? Tonight's that game, I think.
Maybe they'll steal one.
It's in Edmonton.
Yeah,
I got Edmonton.
I got Edmonton.
I'll
They'll
go
lose
ahead.
in 5 though.
And then I guess tomorrow is the tomorrow's the Lightning Rangers. And I think the Lightning win that one as well.
Yeah, they're going
Agree?
Lightning.
Okay. And the NBA,
The National Basketball Association.
our favorite segment here. A big game.
I'm probably gonna watch the finals just because it's Jason Tatum.
Yeah, I thought last night was a lot of fun watching that. The Warriors came up with a huge game 2 win. They're now tied 1-1 in the series. They did their classic run over everybody in the third quarter, like they do. They come out just
They
flying.
scored 35 points and the Celtics scored 14.
Yeah, yep. And they were only up 2 at half, so that was obviously the game changer. I mentioned last time that they either needed Thompson or Jordan Poole to come up big, and Jordan Poole had 17 with that crazy half court shot. I don't know if you saw that.
I think I saw it.
And I don't know about you, probably none of us, if you were to say something about it, like Draymond, but
No, did you hear him talking about Grant Williams?
yeah,
He was saying that Grant Williams wants to be like him. And in my head, I'm like,
he was calling him Bozo on the court.
I don't think anyone wants to be like you, Draymond. You can't shoot. Grant Williams shoots 40% from 3.
Mhm.
He's probably way better offensive player. He's not a bad defensive player.
Yeah.
And your whole career is you're basically,
Off their success.
yeah, like you should have never been an all-star,
Yeah.
in my personal opinion. Or he'll probably go in the Hall of Fame just because he wanted,
The rings.
yeah. But like he
I
doesn't
thought
deserve it.
Now,
last night.
I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
And you guys tell me if I'm wrong.
Uh-huh.
But I've always thought Draymond, he's just not a very good looking dude, right? He's got
Yeah.
some messed up teeth.
Yeah.
I've always thought he looked like the donkey from
Oh
Shrek.
yeah,
Okay.
totally. I actually 100% agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I also thought Rajon
Donkey.
Rondo looked like that Franklin the turtle. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
But no, as I know you said the whole thing about Draymond, I did think watching that. I don't think he's some all-star player or a Hall of Famer,
Solid.
but
Solid. He's like what's his face? Dennis Rodman.
he is.
But he plays his role well. So
What he did last night was the whole mental aspect of just taking Tatum and Brown and taking them out of their game, because Tatum had 21 in the first half, 7 in the second half, and Draymond literally was stirring up things, was bumping with Grant Williams, was bumping with Jaylen Brown, who already had 1 technical, and so he had to like keep his cool. So I think his stats were like 9, 7, and 5 or something like that.
Yeah, 9, 5, 7.
But
Just a little. He just starts stuff.
yeah,
He's just an aggravator.
yeah. And
He's like Pat Beverly but bigger.
do you think he's a good defender though?
Yeah.
I think he's a good defender, and I think he's a good. I don't want to say he's like a good. He's a good passer, but like more of a like a feeder for them, like off screens and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of times he stands up at the top and like just really feeds them. That's how he gets a lot of his assists.
Yeah. It's not like he's making like a really good
Yeah.
pass.
But I mean, again, for what he does it well. So
Yeah.
I have gained a little more respect for him as the years have gone on. Also, he's not going against like my favorite team or my favorite player, so that helps. But the Celtics, on the Celtics side of it, And in game one, their role players were huge. Horford had 26, something like that.
Yeah.
Horford and Smart were 2 for 10 combined with 4 points last night.
This kid has 6 threes. I said that's
I don't think so.
Let's try to find it. You can keep talking. I have no input on the NBA.
But Horford and Smart were terrible. And then, like I said, Tatum and Brown were tremendous in the first half. Brown, I think after the first quarter, was 1 for 11 after that. So, like,
Yeah, he was 5 for 17. Jason Tatum was literally the only person who had like a good game.
and so it was completely flip-flopped of the first one, besides Tatum's assist in that first game. So
I think they need Jaylen Brown to step up.
I agree too. And I would say they need, like I said with Poole or Thompson, they need Horford or Smart.
They need Horford,
somebody.
Smart, Derek White, or Williams.
Yeah.
Grant Williams, not Robert.
I think Williams was 2 for 2, but
6 points.
6
yeah.
points. Game 3 picks. It's back in Boston.
I'll go Boston.
Boston.
Sure. Boston. No, I'll go with Boston. I got to
Okay.
root for Boston. I hate the Warriors. So.
I'm gonna pick the Warriors in that one. I think they have that momentum going after last night. They kind of really beat up on Boston.
Steph Curry's playing super good.
You know, I'm glad I didn't write that down. I was trying to remember it, and I'm glad you pointed that out. So thanks for reminding me that he got what's the word I'm looking for? He got stolen the 2015
Oh, from
Iguodala. So
yeah.
you have to give it to the best player on the winning team. That's been like what they've done for years. So they gave it Iguodala for his defense, really.
Yeah.
But he guarded LeBron the whole series, and LeBron had 36, 16, and 9. So I don't know what Curry had an MVP that year.
Yeah.
And had better points, rebounds, and assists than what he had in the regular season in that final. So I think Curry could have an average series, and he's still going to get a lot of the praise.
Well, he's playing by far the best player in this. Like so far, he had like 30 in the first game and 29 in the second.
Yeah, he's ultra aggressive. Which when Curry's ultra aggressive, it's tough to stop. But I was watching that last night, kind of looking at how much older he's gotten, and like comparing it to like some of the highlights from like 2015 finals. It's kind of crazy to watch. But we can move on.
Does he look different?
What's that?
Does he look different?
Yeah. Oh, like physically, just like because he's 34 now.
Yeah.
He just looks older. Because when I think 2015, 2016, I've mentioned this to you guys before. Like I'm stuck in the COVID thing where that seems like 3 or 4 years ago to me. It's like 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, he looked like a baby in 2015 still compared to what he is now. But we can move on.
Like stronger too.
Oh, he's definitely stronger. Can take a lot more contact. Our next NFL team is the Carolina Panthers. My record for them. Did you do this? Both of you guys do this? My record for them is 4-13.
Same.
4-13.
5-12.
5-12. Okay.
And I'm beating the Seahawks.
Really?
I've had every team beat the Seahawks.
It's in Carolina, isn't it?
I have no idea. I didn't even look. I didn't know it. I just looked at the teams where they played. Had no factor.
Yeah.
Even
McCaffrey.
if they played in Seattle, they'd beat them.
Oh, the hate for the Seahawks. They do have.
Is in Seattle.
What's that?
It's in Seattle.
Is it? Okay.
Yep.
It's called Lumen Field now.
Yeah, I didn't like that. They do have 2 really exciting players though. McCaffrey, if healthy, is a top 3 running back, and DJ Moore is a really good receiver that they have too. But I don't think they're going to be enough to.
They have more than what you're saying.
You think
They
so?
have a really good offense besides the quarterback. They have McCaffrey, Chuba Hubbard, who's like a solid backup. He did okay when McCaffrey started.
missing a wide
DJ
receiver?
Moore, Robbie Anderson, and Terrence Marshall. He played at LSU and is really solid.
Robbie doesn't do it for me. Robbie's a big player or nothing guy, and maybe I think it may be in the right system. Maybe he'd be better.
I think if you didn't have Sam Darnold, he'd be better.
Yeah. And who do you have in New York?
Sam Darnold.
Did he have both Sam Darnolds? Like both times? Oh my gosh. Unlucky guy. Do you think Matt Corral will take the job though?
Yeah, without a doubt. I think I put Matt Corral will be the starter by the end of the year. I this may be a hot take, but I think Matt Corral is going to be the best player from the draft.
Best player?
Yeah, he
Wow.
by far was the
That is
best
a
player
hot
in
take.
college. He had a high completions percentage. Like Kenny Pickett had one good year.
Best quarterback or best player?
Best quarterback, not
Okay.
best player.
And best player?
No, just quarterback.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. I was thinking best player.
No,
There's some.
not best player. I think he'll be better than Malik Willis. I think Malik Willis will be good, but like when Malik Willis actually played a good team, Ole Miss, he threw like 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
I can't think of any other. Desmond Ritter. Yeah, I think Matt Corral played SEC and he was like super good.
Yeah.
I think he dropped because he like got hurt in the last game, but I think he's
I
gonna be
put their defense was 21st last year. And I don't see any. I was looking at their
good. They were
draft
second
class.
in yards given up.
I don't see anything changing with that. And we mentioned the Saints were going to go 9-8, I think we said, and Falcons even, I think we said 5-12 or something like that. So, yeah, I think they're going to be the bottom feeders. I think their ceiling is 6 wins if McCaffrey's healthy and can steal a game.
How
or
many
2.
games do you think McCaffrey will play this year? Over under 8.
Under?
I say he'll play 8.
Over.
He's going to be.
11.
I think their floor is 3 wins. Also, I think they could be top 4 pick in the draft, or they could be top 12 pick in the draft. So
They have some like solid defensive players. Brian Burns was really good last year. I think J.C. Horn, their first round pick, I think he was hurt all of last year. Cornerback, yeah. Went to South Carolina, so don't have that much respect for him.
Yeah.
They traded for C.J. Henderson from the Jaguars, so I think solid. And they got Xavier Woods, who did play for the Cowboys. They have some like decent players. Shaq Thompson, he sounds very familiar. I don't know, his name just sounds cool, so that may just be why I think he's good.
Shaq Thompson does sound familiar.
But yeah, they just literally all they need is a quarterback you can throw. And also they have Rashard Higgins on their team from Cleveland. They must have signed him in the offseason. And we're forgetting to talk about their first round draft pick, a beast.
I'm Ikwanu.
Yeah, Ikime Ikwanu. And then also I put on here my biggest question. The biggest question for them is, can Sam Darnold remember how to play football?
How many weeks? Let's go over under 6 for Corral taking the job.
Let me look at their schedule. Play Cleveland, Giants, Saints, Cardinals, 49ers.
They have a tough schedule too, I thought.
I'll go under just cause. Like I felt like Matt Corral didn't get any love.
Where was he picked in the draft? 2nd round?
He was in 3rd round.
3rd round.
He was, I think, maybe the 3rd quarterback taken.
I'm gonna say over. He's gonna lose the job. Actually, 6. He definitely loses the job after they lose to the Falcons 2 out of 3 weeks. Week 10.
Okay. By the way, do you follow a football team? I forgot.
Not really.
Like if you had to pick one.
I have to think about it.
But yeah, we'll finish up the NFC South next episode with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Kind of interested to see what our record predictions are there. But besides that, we'll have catchers, talk about some other updates from.
It's gonna be hard.
Yeah, catcher's not good. See what else will we have? NHL, some news from there. Game 3 will be done in the finals.
Hopefully the Cardinals will be in first place.
Yeah, hopefully so. Get a couple wins, hopefully at least. And
This is one thing
Tampa.
about the finals. I hate NBA how they have 2 days of rest between each game.
I agree. Yep,
Man up and just play.
I agree. Man up. But all right, guys. We will see you later in the week for episode 27. I think that's right.
See you guys.
See ya.